Ladies and gentlemen, the Amway River Bank Run is less than 1 month away. With all the snow here in Grand Rapids, you wouldn't guess that. But on May 14th, runners are taking the streets for that 45th annual run on downtown here in Grand Rapids. I'm News 8 digital anchor Luke Glasser here from the Wood TV live desk. Joining me this morning, David Madiol. David is the race director for the Amway River Bank Run. David, good morning.
Good morning, Luke. You just reminded me of some of our past races, where we did have a little bit of sideways snow falling.
Oh, my goodness. I can only imagine.
Right.
Hopefully we're not seeing what we're seeing today, on May 14th. But fingers crossed. Agreed. You never know.
Fingers crossed. Terry DeBoer said she's going to work on that for us.
I'll inquire as well. So, again, on the 14th, they're less than a month out. As a director, how are you feeling?
Well, we're busy bees, but super excited, Luke. We're back to normal. We're back to the second Saturday in May after, a couple of changes the last couple of years. It's our 45th year. It's a milestone year for the Amway River Bank Run. And we have a new route that Laura Lee has been working on with the city with all the construction. The route changes a little bit for the race, but this one's sort of exciting. We're doing great. We're excited. We have a big press conference tomorrow where we're going to announce a couple of fun new things, but I can talk a little bit about the new route with you, and actually we're excited about the elite runners that are joining us too.
Let's start with that. Let's start with the route then here as we head into, for tomorrow's press conference. What are the changes there? You cited the construction, but what do we have here leading up to it?
Yeah, so normally the race starts right there in front of the Grand Plaza and DeVos Place, and then we head south. Well, this year we're flipping it, and we're heading north, and then taking a left on Michigan and coming around that way. This is a really interesting route. It goes back Greg Meyer when he reviewed it. Greg Meyer, 7-time winner of the Amway River Bank Run. When he reviewed it, he said, "Oh my gosh, this reminds me so much of the historic race route." So it's sort of fun on a milestone year to go back to sort of a route that was pretty close to what it was at the beginnings of the race. And it's a little nicer for the 25K folks because it's not as hilly at the end. At the end we had some, in the past route, we had some pretty good hills they needed to run up in their last miles, but this takes a little bit of the pressure off in that respect. So that's really fun. And then we're going to finish. The finish is going to be different as well. It's going to be down near DeVos Place, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow in the press conference. But so fun. We're going back to a historic route, and like I said, a little easier if that's if you can say any runner who's going to run 25K gets an easy time on it. I guess you can say that, right?
Speaking of those elite runners, we'll talk about them in a second, but have you had a chance to chat with any of them on the feedback for this route?
No, I think, Greg Meyer is really the person he's our team, and he handles that for us. So that's a really good question, Luke. I assume that they've been letting folks know about the route. It's a good question that I should pose to Greg because it's possible that it's had some bearing on what a great elite field we've been getting. So if we can move into that. So we have the thing I'm really excited about is Parker Stinson, who won a couple years ago and set the 25K All-American record that day here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, is coming back, and we're super excited of him. He's just a great ambassador for the race and a great ambassador for Grand Rapids and for Amway and our sponsors. So he's coming back, and Greg and Nikki, who work on the elite field, say that it's one of the best they've had in a long time. So the elite runners, just so everyone knows, is the folks who are basically professional runners that are able to come in and they are able to win the purse which we had at the end of the race. So that's pretty exciting. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow along with the route. So that'll be stuff that we can share with the audience in more depth. If I could, Luke, could I move on to some of the needs we have from a standpoint of the race? Is that okay with you?
Absolutely. Let's hear them.
So one of the big things that folks may not know, but this is the largest one-day sporting event in downtown Grand Rapids. It's a huge It's a huge deal. It takes a lot of manpower to put together. And we are really looking for folks to come and help us to volunteer. We put this out every year. We have a great response from people all over West Michigan. But it's a really fun day. It's simple to do. You just go on AmwayRiverBankRun.com, click on the volunteer link, and you can find ways to volunteer. I always tell folks this is a great way for get your family together, do it together, family, friends together. It's also great for folks at work. If you want to do team building, take that day, come down and help with this great event. Churches, those types of things, organizations, get involved together and spend 3, 4, 5 hours in downtown Grand Rapids cheering on these runners who have been working so hard to make this goal. And this is a big goal for them, a lot of them. Amway, the team at Amway sponsors a lot of runners internally. Our friends at Spectrum Health, Fifth Third Bank, those are other big corporate sponsors. They bring a lot of their folks in, but we still need people down there. We're going to give you stuff. You get swag. You get Finish Fest. You can come down to Finish Fest for a free meal. But it's just a lot of fun. Community event that we'd love to get volunteers.
Tell me some of the specific positions that you're looking for volunteers.
Sure. There's a lot of different things you can do. We have, I think our Friday work is pretty much full, but there are things that you can do at the expo and the pre-registration work on Fridays. Saturdays, though, there's a lot of different setup groups that come in, help set up prior to the race. And then there's also just aid station places where you're helping hand out Gatorade, water, fuel for these runners as they go by. So it really varies, and you have a chance to look through the different shifts and the different where you might want to sponsor. So you can be right on the race course, you can be at Finish Fest. There's a number of different things that you can do. So, but we try and make it as seamless as possible. Laura Lee and Sarah on our team do a great job on that. So we'd love it if you'd take the time and help us.
David, I want to talk about participation too. If you could, you mentioned the elite runners. How's the general pool of participation looking right now?
Yeah, it's right now we're about where we were at last year with the October race. We'd like to see these numbers get back to normal. I think we are lagging a little bit behind where we'd like to be. But I do want to remind people that it's not just the 25K that's sponsored by Fifth Third. We also have the 10K run, which is sponsored by Fox Honda, and then we have the Power of 5K, along with a 5K walk. So there's lots of options. Obviously, if you're just thinking about a 25K right now, you might be a little bit behind schedule on your training routine. Yeah. But I think, so. Yeah. But a 5K walk, 5K, the Fox Honda 10K, these are all available. So still go to AmwayRiverBankRun.com, register. I'm not saying don't register for the 25K. If you're in good shape, you could probably do that too. But there's lots of open spaces. We'd love to have you down. If you're just starting and just thinking about it, come on down for the 5K walk, bring some friends, and enjoy what's going to be, Terry DeBoer said, a beautiful day on May 14th, right? So So I just want to remind folks of that. It's not just the big race. Don't forget, you've also got the 5K and the 10K and the 5K.
So just one more time on tomorrow morning's news conference there, if you could share the time, location, any other details that viewers should know.
Yeah, the press conference is going to be at 10 a.m. tomorrow at the Amway Grand Plaza Hotel. We'll be announcing a few fun things that'll make the race a little special this year for the 45th year. So you're welcome to come down for that. Otherwise, I know you guys will be covering it along with a lot of the other news stations. So hopefully, folks will be able to just go to you guys and find out the fun information we're sharing tomorrow.
And ladies and gentlemen, we will be carrying that here, just like this interview with David right now, on our Wood TV Facebook page and online. If you tuned into this conversation maybe halfway through or just now clicking in, you can click the link attached to the stream, takes you over to woodtv.com. Our full conversation will be right there. David, anything else that you'd like to add here?
I just want to say thanks to you guys, Luke and to Wood. You guys have been such great ambassadors for the race. So appreciate it. And again, AmwayRiverbankRun.com for anything you need. If you want to run, get on there, register to run. If you want to volunteer and help us out, that would be great as well. So that's the place to go.
David, we appreciate your time.
Thanks, Luke.
Folks, this has been a look at the Wood TV Live Desk. I'm News 8 digital anchor Luke Laster. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you around.